Hello, fellow smut fans. It's Never Seen It. My name is Trent. I'm here with my wife, Betsy.
That's me.
And we are back for another Smutty Sunday. Betsy, today's movie is yet another movie from 2002.
The
Good
year
God,
that continues to haunt us.
it will never stop. Betsy, we're covering yet another smutty movie, and today the selection is 40 Days and 40 Nights.
We are doing another movie in a row that you have watched.
Yes.
And I have not.
Correct. That is unheard of on this podcast.
It's incredibly rare.
Yes. So, Betsy, like you said, I have seen this movie probably 3 or 4 times. I like this movie. It was not well received back when it was released, but why don't you tell the good people what you know about the movie?
Well, before you said it was from 2002, I was just like, this is from 2002, right?
Of course it is.
It has to be.
It screams 2002.
Everything about this movie screams 2002, not the least of which is Josh Hartnett.
That's right.
Remember the early 2000s? There was about 6 or 7 years where we were trying really hard to make Josh Hartnett a thing.
And I'm really bummed that he wasn't a thing.
He was, from about 2000 to 2006.
I know, but that's the thing. I wanted Josh Hartnett to be a big star, and he never broke out of the kind of cute, romantic, hot guy kind of role.
The teen boy stuff.
Yeah, and he never broke out, and that it pissed me off up until recently where he started to get better work.
Yes, he's continued to work for the last 20 years.
He had to reach 40, but he finally made it.
He has matured.
Yeah.
So I know he is the star. I want to say it's that chick from A Knight's Tale who you like.
You're right. Do you know her name?
It's...
It does start. It does start.
Shush.
Shannon Sossamon.
Okay, I knew there was a lot of susses in there. Shannon Sossamon, who again, early 2000s, we were trying to make a thing.
Very hot.
Yeah.
And I mean, in a lot of ways, I wanted her to be another big star, and it never happened for her. Even in her later years. Never came about. But yeah, those are the 2 stars. What do you know about the movie?
I know that it's called 40 Days and 40 Nights because it's about Lent. And trust me, the irony of you selecting this movie to fall on Easter Sunday was not lost on me.
Happy Easter, everybody.
That was not an intentional choice.
It was not.
We had it all planned out, and then I pointed at the calendar and said, do you know what you just did?
Yeah.
So yeah, my understanding is he gives up sex for Lent because he's oversexed.
Not only does he give up sex, Betsy,
he gives up touching himself.
he gives up everything.
And everything else.
Everything in between.
Okay.
So
this smutty movie is not so much about sex, but the lack of sex. But I would be willing to bet there are farcical situations that happen and lots of sex happening around him.
Oh, Betsy, this movie is silly.
It is silly. I fully anticipate it is.
With all of the ridiculous things happening around him. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I like this movie. And we're going to get into it after we watch it, but I just want to say, this movie got a bad rap. It's a fun kind of, raunchy sex romp.
From 2002!
A la, American Pie. There were a lot of these kinds of movies back then. And you're allowed to have some fun sometimes when you're making your movies.
And not everything has to be an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just sit down and go, ha, this is stupid.
But I will say, there's going to be a returning champion from the previous Smutty Sunday that you're going to notice in this movie.
Oh, no. Okay, well, now I'm going to start racking my brain to see who that might be.
We're going to get to that in just a moment. We're going to go and watch 40 Days and 40 Nights. We'll be right back. We're back. Betsy, did you survive the 40 Days and 40 Nights?
This movie is perfectly adequate. I don't think this is like
right.
a great movie.
All right.
It was cute. Like it had moments where I was just like, haha, okay. Which is exactly what I expected. But I can understand contextually why people didn't love this movie. Because thinking back to when it was 2002,
Yep.
we're, 17 years old. This is too raunchy to fall into the cute teen rom-com or any other rom-coms of the day. But it's not raunchy enough compared to the example you gave, American Pie,
Right.
and those other movies like Scary Movie that were coming out around this time.
And the whole point of American Pie is to be the teen sex comedy.
Right.
This is like college-aged, mid-20s.
These are like adults with jobs.
Yeah. Like right out of college kind of a thing. And, in 2002, we were still in high school about to go to college. So, I mean, I didn't see this movie until I was in college. So maybe I had a different mindset then. So I enjoyed this movie simply because they go there, but they don't go super hard into like the gross out stuff.
This movie could be so much more raunchy. For a movie that is entirely about a guy giving up sex, you would expect this, like I said, contextually with what other things were going on. Like, this is clearly an R-rated movie as it is.
Yeah.
And it's really not raunchy. There's like some fake boners. There's a couple of nipples and boobs out.
Played for laughs. Yeah, it's not meant to be titillating.
No, there's no bodily fluid. There is nobody like in a questionable situation.
Compromising position, I think is what they're called.
Yeah, so they could have gone a lot farther. So I think for the people who were expecting another American Pie, this doesn't go far enough. For people who were thinking like She's All That kind of a movie, this is nowhere near it. It's just...
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying here.
It's somewhere in the middle.
It is... have you ever seen Van Wilder?
I actually have not. I think I started watching it and I hated it.
And I liked that movie at the time for what it was, but that one just got way too out there and raunchy for even me at the time. As I've gotten older, I've realized that movie's not very great.
Yeah, people used to find stuff like that funny, and as you get older, you grow out of that kind of humor.
Yeah, and even
like
that
I don't know grown adults who love Van Wilder who could seriously watch a movie like that now and go, "Yeah, that's hilarious."
People who are 22 love Van Wilder, but yeah, like. That went too far for me, but like She's All That, you mentioned that. You could have made a rated R version of She's All That.
Yeah.
But they chose not to have a bigger audience. Like, I don't know how you make this a PG-13 movie without having all of the jokes in here.
Yeah, it's impossible to do. I think this has to be an R, but they didn't make it the hard R they probably could have.
Yeah, you could have covered up the women. You could have not had all the boner jokes. You could have cleaned up the language and still talked about the subject matter.
It's really hard to make a movie that's exclusively about sex without making it an R-rated movie.
It is a lot harder because you don't have those options in front of you as a filmmaker.
And especially 20 years ago.
Yes.
Like, you could probably get away with a lot more, honestly, now. Or maybe even, I don't know.
I think you would probably get away with less these days.
Maybe, because of course the end of the movie is...
I think I know where you're going here.
Is basically his ex-girlfriend... non-consensually, they're very vague. I don't know if she actually has sex with him or just grinds on him.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but it's non-consensual.
Yeah, that person should have been arrested.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. Like,
Let's just
if there's
say that.
anything that is something that does not age well, it is that. You cannot have that in a movie these days without some kind of consequences for that person.
Right. And that really, honestly... contextually or no, that put aside, the whole movie ends because she places a bet and then she wins the bet. There's no closure to that.
Yeah, there's no payoff.
So basically, his horrible ex-girlfriend, played by Vanessa Shaw, champion of the smutty movies, apparently.
Like I said.
2 in a row. She forces herself on him, wins the bet, and we never see her again. There are no consequences for her being a shitty human being. And even in this time frame, they usually would button up that storyline. So
or something would happen to her. Like if it was a Van Wilder, you would have had, something terrible happen to her from an ex, or her parents would find out.
An outside source. I don't know.
Something would happen to her. But you're right. They do not tie up that whole thing with her or the bet with the entire thing. The only thing they do is continue on with a different bet about how long he's going to be in his bedroom fucking his girlfriend.
Well, listen, when this movie started, he decides for himself that this is what he's going to do. He's going to take a vow of celibacy for the entirety of Lent, 40 days, and 40 nights. Okay. And I'm watching it as it's progressing, and we're at about day 6. And I said, in any other movie of this time, he would be doing this as the result of a bet, to bring it back to She's All That again.
Yeah.
The only reason that movie happens is somebody bets him to do it. This feels like someone would bet him to do it. And no sooner had I said that, cut to the boardroom with all his dude bro
office
coworkers creating a bet against him. So they're basically all trying to win money off of when he fails.
Yeah.
And then it turns into them trying to make him fail. So there's a lot of elements that they were trying, and it's kind of all over the place because, like you said, it's unresolved at the end. Yes, it creates some comedic moments throughout because, there's the guy trying to slip him Viagra and the woman sitting on the copier spreading her legs and just wildly flirting, and the two women who try to seduce him in the coat room, you know? So there's moments that come from that. But yeah, they kind of don't really resolve it because there's a lot of buildup and then it's just over. And we don't address it.
The only defense I would say to that is the movie isn't about the bet.
But if I want to be really nitpicky about structure,
I'm with you.
I like things to be resolved. And that was a really gaping thing to not give resolution to. That bothered me. His girlfriend being awful, or his ex-girlfriend being awful and getting away with it and winning the bet. Like, winning the pool.
Well, we also don't see her do that.
I'm just saying.
I would say if there's anything that I would have done to resolve that whole thing, fucking disqualify her, give her her money back. Well, number one, call the police. And two, give it to Matt. Give it to Josh Hartnett. Because he would have succeeded if not for this one incident.
Right, but they don't give you any resolution whatsoever. The only thing we get is, like you said, when he finally gets the girl at the end of the movie, they have like a 3-day fuck fest in his room, and all of his coworkers are sitting in the living room taking bets on how long they're going to be in there.
Yeah.
And it's like a funny way to end the movie.
It was, yeah.
Again, unresolved. We just keep perpetuating this.
All right.
So it's just structural things like that are the problems with this movie. It's there. Like, the pieces are all there. But if you want me to be completely honest, the thing that bothered me the most about this, I don't know if Josh Hartnett was right for this movie.
Really?
I'm not completely sold. Like, I just kept thinking about how he's, like, too much of a straight man. And he's not going silly enough. But then when he went silly, I was like, I don't believe you. Like, I don't know. I think maybe...
You don't like him stumbling on the ground like 3 times in the movie?
I don't know how to explain it. I was thinking to myself, I don't know if I would have picked him. Like, it's the thing
you don't buy him being a, like, sex maniac. You don't buy him as being this kind of meek, and, like, he turns into kind of a nerd in the middle of the movie.
I think it's the thing we were talking about in the intro. They were trying really hard to make Josh Hartnett a thing.
Yeah.
But I think the problem that Hollywood has had, at least in this era, was figuring out what that thing is, like trying to put him in a box that other people were doing, and he's got to take whatever jobs are offered to him.
It's a leading role.
It's a leading role
in his own movie, yeah.
Right. But the moments where I feel like he is best is when he's kind of a straight man. Like, I don't really... Like, I could even see him doing romantic. Like, I'll buy romantic. But it was when it got goofy that it takes a certain kind of actor to be completely comfortable making an ass of yourself. There are people who can do the whole spectrum. You know, somebody like Ryan Gosling can do Crazy Stupid Love, where he is jacked. You know, he is, part of his character is he's really, really fit. But he's also kind of a goofy ass, you know?
Yeah.
We're recording this the day the fucking Barbie trailer comes out, and that dude is a goofy motherfucker. So somebody like that, he can do all of it. I don't know that Josh Hartnett is that guy. I don't know that I buy him as being able to pull off the goofy, because there were moments here where I was just like, I don't buy it.
Do you think it's just the performance here, or do you not think that he as an actor can pull that thing off? Because
I don't know.
I'll be honest. I've said my piece about Josh Hartnett. I have hoped throughout his career and my life that he would have been a bigger deal, because I like him in everything that I've seen him in. Now, he's chosen some weird movies. I watched that fucking vampire movie 30 Days of Night. He doesn't fit in a vampire movie at all.
Okay.
But in a comedy, I think he pulls it off. Even the comedic stuff, I think he's got this really, like, I think he's pulling off the tightness. I don't know how else to describe it.
The inner anxiety he is feeling.
Yes, he is pulling that off in his delivery, in his body language. I think he's got it.
There were parts of it I liked. There were parts of it I didn't.
I don't like him like doing the stumbling thing that he does a few times in the movie.
Because he's not an awkward guy. That's the thing. I think maybe that's what I'm trying to say is it's not him.
Right, and I think they try a little bit too hard to make him into this awkward guy. And speaking of awkward, like there was that one scene after their second date on the bus, and they go back to her place, and she's gonna go in for the kiss, and he panics and gives her the high five.
And then stumbles.
Backwards.
See, like that?
And he's like hopping up and down and just being all weird. And I get that kind of a feeling, but I don't think that portion was pulled off as well as they wanted.
See, like him jumping back and giving her the high five, that part worked. And then when he's like skipping
everything
away,
else after
it got
that.
weird. Them on the bus, like the two of them together, okay, they have chemistry.
Yeah, they're great.
I think when they're just playing off each other, like if he was just doing any other kind of rom-com, I think I would buy it. But it's the same problem with the material that I keep coming back to. Because of the kind of rom-com, because this is a rom-com.
It is.
Because of what we are trying to accomplish here, it takes a very specific kind of actor, and I'm not convinced this is him.
All right. Who else would you have put in here as long as you're trying to recast this?
Okay, I'm not going to go so far as to recast it. I'm just saying the problems with the script maybe would fix the problems I'm having with him.
All right.
I'll just leave it with that.
All right.
I would say if there was one thing that really bothered me at times was him. And maybe that is a result simply of an unfleshed out script.
Yeah, and I fully admit that this movie is not like a deep study of repression.
It's not supposed to be.
No, it's not.
Even if it was a straight rom-com minus the sex, it would still be a goofy, stupid movie.
It is, and I fully cop to that. I still like this movie quite a bit. I like the dynamic between these two. I think the whole meet cute when they happen upon each other in the laundromat and he doesn't say anything is a great way to do that. Have you ever seen that in another rom-com?
Where he's just silent?
Little Miss, a master of rom-coms?
I am not the master. I've just seen lots of them.
You have. Yeah, you have never seen that in anything else?
I would have to sit and think about that for a while, but no, I don't think so. Yeah, there's things like you can tell they were trying to do something unique. Yeah. Okay, the meet cute has to happen. It's a necessary evil in these kinds of movies. The guy giving her the silent treatment, okay, I'll take it. It's cute.
He's really trying to not pursue this, but the more he's thinking about it, the more he's thinking about it.
And then, like, they set up things that they call back to later. Like, when she first comes in, she sees him getting his
secret
stash.
Yeah.
And then later he catches her trying to steal his stuff.
Busted.
Yeah, so it's cute and it sets it up for later.
Yeah.
And then like the scene where normally in a movie like this, there's a sex scene. Mm-hmm. They don't have a sex scene, but they have
they do, Betsy.
They have all of the music cues, and so you know because you've been trained when watching all these movies to know what's going to happen.
Oh God, they're taking off their shirts. Oh God, she
It's
doesn't have
all,
any pants on.
like,
Oh God, it's gonna happen.
Romantic music,
Yeah.
and it's dark, and there's candles. But instead of sex, they're touching each other with flower petals.
Yeah.
And she
Hot.
And she orgasms.
Yep.
I will give you that is unique. I have not seen that before. Mm-hmm. And again, if I was like 16, 17, I'd have probably thought, wow, that's amazing. It was towing the line of being cheesy.
It's a movie.
It was really towing the line for me of being cheesy.
I do like the scene with her and Maggie Gyllenhaal, the friend, afterwards, and it just cuts to her and she says, "With a flower."
A flower. So I give it credit for trying. That was something I hadn't seen before. It's a sex scene without sex and without touching.
Did you know before watching this movie that you would have considered this a rom-com?
I don't know. I would say probably if I had sat and thought about it a little bit longer because I knew there was a love interest. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I would have put it more rom-com. I would have just assumed it was a raunchy movie with a love interest. But this is more rom-com than anything.
It is. And I keep going back to the whole Van Wilder thing. It is a similar story.
Really?
It kind of is, because the main character there is in college. He doesn't want to ever leave college, even though he's been there for like 8 years. He could have graduated many different times, but he doesn't want to grow up and he doesn't want to move on with his life. And he meets somebody that is trying to encourage him to grow up and do whatever. And I'm reciting the plot from Van Wilder like it's some kind of
masterpiece.
Artistic masterpiece. No, I mean,
there is a plot there, though.
There is a plot there, and
underneath all of the nonsense.
Yeah, and he is a good person in the end, and it just takes this one person to get the main character to grow up and move on with their life. In this case, Josh Hartnett is trying to get over his ex, and he's doing it in a lot of different ways, mainly by just sleeping with whoever that he can.
But it's giving him a fucking panic attack.
But he's having a panic attack during, and he cannot go through with it. So really what he needed to do is find somebody else to get him out of the funk. And it took this drastic measure of him just saying, no, I'm not going to be doing this for the next 40 days and committing to it, where he does finally find somebody and he can rewire his brain to not just have it be about sex.
And be open to new things and new people.
And they don't really go into it, but Erica mentions the idea that, okay, you and your ex, the real thing that you had with her was she was just extremely physically attractive to you, and you could not give that up. Mm-hmm. But you didn't actually have a connection with her. You didn't love her. It was just about sex. So with me, you're actually finding these connections. You're having a good time just hanging out with me. And all of these other times where you're just bringing people home to fuck them, you're not getting anything out of it. And that's what's pulling you away, because it's reminding you of the hurt feelings you had with your ex.
Yeah, he has a great capacity for feeling, but he doesn't realize that the void he is feeling is sex and not love.
Yeah. Yeah. So it takes him not having sex to realize what he really wants. What he really wants is the connection, and he never had that with his ex.
Yeah, because she's terrible.
Oh, she's bad.
They're very bad together. I don't know why they're together. They don't make any sense at all, but that's kind of, they're painted with a comically large brush in movies like this, where they're very exaggerated how different they are, so that you really despise them.
Well, and
which is why I'm so bothered that she doesn't get her comeuppance at the end.
You're right.
I have sat through this 90-minute movie and I have earned some bad things happening to this bitch.
And I do appreciate the fact that at the very beginning of the movie, they're having, oh God, there's so many things we need to talk about of the 2002-ness of this movie. they're having this little montage of all of the like home videos that they took together on their
Nikon,
on their handheld digital cameras
that hold 60 photos at best.
Right. And he's like going through all these photos and deleting them over and over again, and you can see the growing apart. Like, there's a couple of videos in there of him taking videos of her like he would normally do, but she's over it. She doesn't want to deal with you anymore.
Stop sticking that camera in my face.
Yeah, I'm over
We're going to talk about this when I get back.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's a clever way to give you a lot of information in a very short amount of time. Great. But you're right, since you touched on it, the 2002-ness. So this is...
First shot of the movie.
First shot.
Bucket hat.
Bucket
hat, taking pictures in front of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
How 2002 is that?
They're on the street, and there's a lot of extras walking past them.
Yep.
And all the women look like they just jumped off the pages of the Delia's catalog.
Uh-huh.
Pleather and spiky hair.
Colors. So many colors.
So many colors. And everybody's got their belly buttons hanging out. And what depresses me the most is they're trying to bring it back.
It's back already, Betsy.
I hate it so much. But yeah, there's a lot of that. He's wearing a polo shirt over a long sleeve shirt several times. I was kind of getting to the point where it's like, you've clearly edited this around and reused some footage, because you're wearing the same shirt many times. And I understand you're a dude.
It's 2002. You're a dude. Come on. You got to give him that.
Usually in a movie like
Betsy,
this, you don't see him wear the same thing twice.
He does his laundry. He's going to wear things more than once.
Fine, but they hadn't done their laundry yet, because when we first see him, it's supposed to be the first day, and then it's the 6th day, and he was wearing the same outfit. Thank you. I noticed shit like this.
Nitpicking.
Oh, God. What other 2000s things were there that really jumped out? The .com thing.
Oh, yeah. Being in San Francisco, the .com thing was still booming in 2002, even after the crash, because the company he works for makes websites.
Literally everyone in this movie works at some company relating to the internet.
It's San Francisco.
Yeah, he did. Erica did. I'm pretty sure his ex-girlfriend did.
I don't know what that thing was about.
I don't know. I just know that they were all talking about .com bullshit.
Yes.
Referring to it specifically as, oh, he works for a .com.
Well, like, just think about, I mean, I don't know how much you paid attention to this kind of a thing. There is a ton of people working at this company that does not need to employ this many people. Like, this is very much a startup mentality where you hire as many of your friends as you can. You get a bunch of venture capital money, and you just burn through it until you get bought out. That is the way it is still going now.
20 years ago, they started the model, and even before then.
Yeah, you don't actually have to make any money. You just have to burn through that as slow as you can so you don't run out. But yeah, there's so many people working at this company. All they do is design websites and make websites.
To be honest, he's the only one who's working, because the rest of them are too busy betting against him and trying to fuck him.
Like I said, you hire your friends, so of course you're going to be fucking around all the time. Yeah. So even on the other side, it's with Erica's company, what does it do? It finds websites and flags them as porn, so it doesn't appear in search results. I didn't really understand that. I remember there was some software that you could install on your computers to protect against your kids getting onto porn websites.
Stumbling on porn.
Yeah. And there were a lot of different pieces of software like that. And you don't really have that much anymore. I think you can probably just click a button in your router and it'll do that. You can probably do something
in the browser.
Yeah, you can do something in your browser, like the safe search in Google, but
Trent,
you can still get to websites.
This is 2002. The internet still screeched.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of those different kinds of companies popping up all over the place. And again, it's just a bunch of young, recent college graduates working over there too.
Presumably.
But of course, you have the obligatory old guy who is the manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need that guy who I recognize, I think, from a TV show in the 90s.
Probably.
Which is the type you cast in this. And then it's hilarity ensues because he accidentally drinks the drink with the Viagra in it and has to just jerk it in the bathroom.
Like 3 times.
4 times.
4 times.
He was going in for number 4, and if he did 5, he sets the company record.
Oh, God. And yeah, let's just talk about that. Not the jerking off portion, but the attitudes of people working in an office together, like your boss talking about taking the vow himself to deny sex to his wife because his wife won't give him anything. That you are the boss. You are the owner maybe of the company. You can't be talking about that.
There's a lot of people in this movie who are very open about just sex. Let's just talk about it. His parents just pointing at, like, here, I've got a graph that they gave me
all
to
these
see
positions.
the positions that I can do or can't do with my hip.
Yeah.
To their children. And he's talking to a priest about sex, or a soon-to-be priest about sex. And his boss talking about sex. It's like, y'all need to just tone it down.
Yeah, and this is they have meetings about this office pool. They just use all this company time. They're all talking about this stuff. You cannot do that. Where is HR?
It's like, I'm going to bring it up again. She's all that. They don't actually go to class.
No.
They just do the things.
They don't actually work at their
this
job.
This company, they don't actually work. They're just in the office.
Even in Erica's job, her friend is saying, you can't read a book. It's not that kind of a job. So either go on some porn websites, or you can't read your book, or you can go home or something.
Yeah, you're bumming me out. Go away.
Yeah.
The only person who I would say is the MVP of doing their job is the bagel guy.
The bagel guy. And Betsy, who's the bagel guy?
You
didn't recognize him.
Well, I did and I didn't because I don't know what I'm looking for.
Also 2002. It's been a long time ago.
And he's very different looking. It was the guy who played the older Pete on The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Yeah.
And he's credited
one of
as the bagel guy.
He's bagel guy.
But he shows up and he restocks the bagels.
And he knows everything. He knows the line in the basketball game. He knows that Nicole is getting engaged or just got engaged because her office is just down the street and there was a big banner saying,
they also get the
congratulations.
bagels.
Yeah, they also get the bagels. He does it all.
And you touched on it a little bit, but Maggie Gyllenhaal is also in this movie. She plays the best friend.
3 scenes, I think.
Which, again, contextually, if you think about it, this came out the same year as Donnie Darko. So this is probably one of the first movies she ever made.
When did Secretary come out?
It might have also been 2002.
Yeah.
So
it was around that time.
This was a good year for Maggie Gyllenhaal, but I'd be willing to bet that this one was early days for her.
Mm-hmm. She was getting cast in a lot of stuff.
She's really blonde in this, which was strange.
It's weird. I don't think I've ever seen her as a blonde.
Everyone has terrible hair in this movie, by the by. The ones who are really trendy and hip. Because, like, Shannon Sossamon...
Yeah, we haven't talked about her yet.
At one point, literally has her hair pushed back in a headband. Mm-hmm. And her hair is all spiky, but it's crimped.
Yes.
It is both crimped and spiky.
It's trendy, Betsy.
I wanted to shave her head or douse her with a bucket of water. I needed to go away.
Speaking of shaved head, during the early montage of him and his ex, he had a shaved head.
Yeah,
he had a buzzed head anyway.
Yeah. They either recorded that first or last.
Probably last.
That's usually how that goes.
Probably last. But yes, we haven't really talked about too much about Shannon Sossamon. What did you think about her?
She is delightful as always. I have no complaints.
Always biting her lip.
Yeah, she's great in this. Like, this is more in line with what I see her.
This is a perfect role for her because she can be the kind of raunchy girl that I think a lot of guys like, me included.
Yeah, but she can also carry the romance and the drama when there's, they have to fight. Like, I bought her more than I bought him.
She was even funny. Like, there was the line after the second date where he gives her the high five and she's talking with Maggie Gyllenhaal saying, you know what, he's treating me like an equal. We're having a great time hanging out. And Maggie says, so you hate it, right? It's terrible, right?
It's the worst.
It's the worst. I cannot understand why he doesn't want to have sex with me. You know, that's a funny line coming from a woman in this kind of a movie.
Yeah. So yeah, I have no complaints about her. I thought of everyone in this, she's the most believable. Save maybe Maggie Gyllenhaal, but she wasn't on the screen that much to do anything of consequence.
It's true. You know, and of course, San Francisco being a very progressive kind of a city, you're going to have empowered women on screen at all times.
I will tell you, for being San Francisco in 2002, this was not the most diverse group of people.
Oh, no. I don't know if you've heard about Silicon Valley. It's a lot of white guys.
Yeah, but this is like San Francisco startup company.
Still, that's what I'm saying.
So we've got one Asian dude and maybe a gay guy, question mark?
I don't know.
He was not very flamboyant, if that was supposed to be the one gay guy in this movie.
If he was, they did not point it out.
They didn't draw attention to it, so I can't even say that for sure that he was there.
Yeah. And there's really only one mention of gayness in the entire movie. It was early on when he reveals, or when his roommate finds out about the bet, where he says, after 2 dates and there's no kiss, after that, you're full on homo. Or something to that effect. Mm-hmm. And there's only one reference to that in the entire movie.
Yeah, I agree with the plot that he probably should have just told her, but we need the plot to move forward and we need conflict. So he didn't tell her. So then, of course, he finds out about the bet. And then, oh no, because she works in the internet, like
she's
everyone else, she finds out and then she's mad. And then they get back together and then they break up and then they get back together and then they break up.
The internet is such a small place, Betsy.
In San Francisco, apparently. In the porn world, certainly.
I guess. Anyway, but yeah, thank goodness for the internet, because we wouldn't be able to do this otherwise. So thank you, internet. Even though we're not doing porn. Like, this is...
Good. No feet pics, nothing weird.
Nope.
You're not getting my feet.
Nope, none of that. All right, I've got a few more things I wanted to mention here before we get out of here. One thing we didn't mention was the one chick going into the copy room, let's say, and going in there to tempt him by hopping up on top of the copy machine, which, by the way, that will not support a lot of weight. That's just glass.
Yes.
Yeah. Her getting up there, spreading her legs, and showing, hey, I have this butterfly tattoo on my inner thigh. Like, way up there.
Way up there.
And she says, I want another one on my other leg. Can you tell me what you would have on it? And she says, I might want to get a pussy cat. Do you like pussy cats? And then he has this really weird, awkward thing saying, no, you wouldn't want a pussycat because the cat would go after the butterfly and hurt the butterfly, and it would be really sad.
That's what cats do.
Indeed.
They attack.
It's true. And she's just like, okay, all right, you're not going to take the bait, so I'm just going to press this button over here and photocopy my ass and write my phone number on the thing. And yes, everybody is just fascinated.
They're watching in their glass bubble, and he does nothing about it.
Yeah, his roommate is regarding the photo with the phone number and asking, you're going to call her, right? You got to call her. She gave you a photo of her ass.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He did not call her.
Yeah. That's sexting in 2002, by the way.
That's how you had to do it in those days.
That's right. You had to Xerox yourself.
Xerox your ass.
All you kids these days. And then at the end of the movie, when I think it's day 40, where he goes about his day. I don't know why the hell you just don't take a day off or like go and do an activity.
You've spent the last several weeks having people try to do something to make you fail. Why don't
put
you
yourself in that position.
Self-isolate. Go to a cabin in the woods. Go to the beach. Go be alone.
Take a pottery class.
Take
the most non-sexual. Wait a minute, he's touching things that are wet.
Lady,
never mind.
Take your lady with you. Get separate rooms for all I care. And then it all will be well. But this is not how we live in this movie.
Anyway, so it's day 40. He's like on the bus and he starts hallucinating. Mm-hmm. First of all, he's just seeing women in like lingerie and dudes in suits walking by. Then he goes to this like cafe outside and they're just naked 1 second and he turns back and they're clothed. He's having a moment. He's having an episode.
He's having a physical and mental breakdown.
Yes, and then he goes to the church where his brother is going to be the priest and is gonna go to confession, and he walks in on him with a nun, and he blames, I guess he says he doesn't blame his brother, but he kind of blames his brother. It's because all of your stories, I can't handle it. I need to take a sabbatical. If I come back, when I come back, it's gonna be different.
Yeah, it's one thing to tell your brother these things, it's another to tell all of these details to your brother who's going to be a priest.
Yeah.
That's a lot to lay on somebody.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And what did you, we haven't really mentioned that. What did you think about the whole dynamic between the brothers?
Honestly, I think they just needed a reason to bring the conversation of Lent up. So they were like, I guess his brother has to be a priest. I don't think they put much more thought into it than that.
I think I do like the relationship because they can be brothers to each other.
Yeah,
like the first time.
I believe them as brothers.
Yeah, the first time he's walking out of the confessional and he calls him a dick and the brother says, "You're a dick back."
Yeah, it was funny. I get it, but I don't think there was much more thought to it beyond, we need a way to introduce the concept of Lent.
You're right. And then we have the actual priest saying, "Oh, putting up banners because it's Lent. I give up my, like, this little cookie that I normally have." It's like, oh, it's such a sacrifice. And I love the brother telling him, why don't you just do what everybody else does? Give up chocolate. Give up meat. Just give up something else other than the thing that you're all about.
Be normal, you weird man.
Right? And then there was another day. I don't know why, but this moment always stuck out to me. It is just the verbiage of it. He says the cafe that he goes to get his coffee every day is sponsoring Hot Women Wearing No Bras Day.
Super hot women.
Super, like, hot women?
There were like 48
There were 40
boobs.
There were 48 breasts at the cafe. He counted them.
He's a desperate man in that situation.
I love the cutting back to just his mouth, like the bottom of his face doing the confessional. And, of course, the last thing is when he's sleeping on the last day and he has his dream of himself flying through a valley of boobs.
Boob Valley. It's where he lives and wants to be.
It's where I want to live. And it's where I want to be, Betsy. All right, that is all I had. What else did you have, Betsy?
What was with the monkeys? I counted no fewer than 5 references to monkeys. Like the girl he's hooking up with has a monkey. There's a monkey at the office in the supply closet. The laundromat is called Mon-Key.
I don't know.
Is it just a joke because we're nothing but animals? Is this because it was 2002 and we were all singing the Bloodhound Gang? You know that music video where they're all dressed like monkeys?
Baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
So let's do it.
Like they do on the Discovery Channel.
On the Discovery Channel.
Of course.
Like, genuinely, that's all I got. I have no idea.
The one monkey, I think, I can't even describe it. It was on one of the gal's shirts. And
I didn't even catch that one.
Yeah, it was actually a couple of different people's shirts, I think. But it was that monkey, I think they advertised it at Aeropostale, that store in the mall.
Sure.
I think that was one of their logos. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I remember seeing that a lot in high school.
I'm just saying I counted at least 5 monkeys and I didn't even catch the one you just mentioned, so there was clearly something with the monkeys.
Yeah, I honestly do not know. But you know what? I'll just go with your idea. Sure.
If there had been somebody giving an impassioned speech about how we're all just animals, I would have been a little bit too on the nose. I would have let it go, but
too on the nose.
It bothered me. I don't like when I don't understand something.
All right, fair enough. The only other thing that I read about this thing, apparently Josh Hartnett tried to do this task.
He tried to do the thing.
He tried to do the thing. He made it 2 weeks.
I mean,
I would say, you know what? Good on you.
When you're young and horny.
When you're whatever age he was.
And you're Josh Hartnett on the rise.
Yep.
You better believe there were women throwing themselves at him.
Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be the end of our discussion about 40 Days, 40 Nights. Here's a question. Do you think it fits with our Smut Fest? It is certainly more smutty than the last movie we watched.
It certainly is lacking in sex for a movie that is smutty, but given that the conversation is always about sex,
Yep.
I don't know how it can't be defined as smut.
All right. Well, speaking of bagels,
I like bagels.
how about that for a transition? To an email about everything, everywhere, all at once. You know, there's a bagel in that movie. An everything bagel. Everything. We got an email from Stephanie about this movie. Hey, did you know that won the Oscar for Best Picture?
It sure did, Trent.
Oh, boy.
It won a lot of Oscars.
It did. She says, I loved it. Seriously, visually, this movie is incredible. The acting is incredible. The story is incredible. It was weird and fun and just so good. There were so many weird little jokes hidden. Number 1, I can't believe it took me this long to watch it. Number 2, I can't wait to watch it again. And number 3, give it all the Oscars. Well, they did.
Yeah, we
Well,
got that
all
one.
of them.
We got that one right before the Oscars. I think we got that email.
Yes, we got this at about a week before the Oscars, I think.
But I believe it is the most winning movie for Oscars, like either ever or in a really long goddamn time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
She says, I can see the Matrix parallels, but I also saw some John dies at the end in this movie.
I haven't seen that. I don't get the reference.
I haven't seen John dies at the end. Don't spoil it for me. She says, this is a very thoughtful and very well-made film. I would love to make really weird and sneakily inappropriate trophies for businesses. I love the scene where she was making everyone happy that was trying to fight her. Yeah.
Kill him with kindness.
Also, I love everything bagels. Boo.
You know, I honestly feel like it's the kind of thing I'd probably like, but I always associate bagels with breakfast, and I always want something not
that's more of
savory.
a savory. Yeah,
I don't want savory at my morning meal.
Yeah, I want something kind of sweet to get me going.
I think I could get on board with an everything bagel for lunch if there was like a true like bagel sandwich. But
Sure.
somebody's got to tell me what to put on it.
Sure, like you're gonna have, lox and a bunch of other stuff on it, along with the seasoning. Like, you're not gonna eat an everything bagel plain.
No,
with just
what do you
that.
think I am? Kind of monster?
I know. Yeah. Anyway, she finishes, anyway, this was amazing. I'm going to watch Women Talking on Wednesday, ha ha ha, and will probably miss out on Avatar 2 since it isn't streaming. I may sneak in a few more of the acting categories, and then the Oscars will be upon us. Love you guys, from superfan Stephanie.
Well, I love to hear how far you got in the process, Stephanie. It's been a few weeks. You've had about a month almost to get caught up. I'll be interested to see where you landed.
Yeah, so, that is going to be the end of this one. Like I said, we're right in it. Betsy, we're doing 2 different series this month.
We cannot be stopped.
We have Smutty Sunday. We have Video Game Wednesdays. We didn't really have a snappy name for that one yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe by the end of it, we'll find one. No, we won't. So, yeah, just let us know what you thought about this one.
Is Vanessa Shaw the queen of smut?
Do you think Josh Hartnett should have been more famous? Email us, neverseenitpod@gmail.com. That's neverseenitpod@gmail.com. It's free. Click the thing in the description. It'll take you to your email app, and you can just type. Just type. Just send us something, please.
Is that how emails
Thoughts.
work?
Thoughts just come out of your head and into your fingers and just send it away to us.
Into one of those .coms.
One of them .coms, do they still have those?
I mean, it's in the email.
I guess. It is in the email address. Neverseenitpod@gmail.com. You can also visit us on any one of these social media sites. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All of the links are in the description, along with a link to go to our support page. Please click that and throw us $1 on Spotify. And also, while you're there, go ahead and rate us 5 stars on the Spotify or on the iTunes or wherever the hell you are listening to us. Rate us 5 stars. It helps people find the podcast. But until next we meet, this has been Never Seen It. My name is Trent.
My name is Betsy.
And we'll be back to you on Wednesday with another video game movie.
We sure will.
See you then.
Bye.